You know there's a massive problem when your vet and your groomer will not service your dog anymore. When they tell you, you need to put your dog down or surrender it. I am not helping your dog anymore. I refuse to help your dog anymore. I refuse to treat your dog, to groom your dog, because your dog is suffering and you're leaving it to suffer. This is what this lady's doing. It can be really hard not to absolutely hate human beings when you hear about what they're doing to their animals. $6,000 this lady paid for her cavoodle. $6,000 when there's animals that you can get for adoption, like whatever. She paid $6,000. Look up, you're gonna pay $6,000. Isn't it like a fucking handbag? You look after it. You pay that much money, you look after something, right? Turns out that's not true at all. She paid $6,000 to get this cavoodle. Clearly couldn't watch it, couldn't even watch her own fucking toddlers. I'm not a mother, but seriously, I'm an attentive as hell dog owner, pet owner, and I mean, you gotta be there. And if you can't handle something, don't fucking do it. Her toddler sat on the dog and broke the back. Totally destroyed the back and the back legs. So then they paid for the surgery. So clearly money is just, money will fix all of my problems, yeah? So paid for the surgery, to then be told you have to do the rehab, otherwise she's not going to walk properly. Yeah, of course, yeah. No, they didn't do the rehab. So do you know what happened? The dog was left to rot in a fucking garage in her own waste because she couldn't control her bowel movements. All because they couldn't do the rehab. They didn't do the rehab. That's it. It would have been a few months of rehab and she would have been able to use her bowels again. She would have been able to walk again. And now, 14 months, they left her alone in her own filth. Can you believe it? They'd come home from work, clean her in her pen because she'd be covered in shit, right? And then they'd go inside and cook the family dinner, and but the dog was in the garage, in the pen, in her own shit. Sorry about it, but this is how it is, for 14 months, until the vets and the groomers said, we are not servicing your dog anymore. This is cruel. You either put the dog down or you contact a rescue. So think about what state, I'm getting chills, what state that dog was in for the vets and the groomers to say, no, we're done. We're not servicing you because you're actually a piece of shit. And if you can't, sort your dog out, you need to put it down because it is cruel. 14 months like this. Can you believe that? So thank God they had the sense and brain to go, the vets were amazing. They gave this family a rescue, and they called and they were like, this is what's happened. This is all true because the family actually told the rescue this. So the rescue got this dog and went to rehab, did hydro twice a week, treadmill stuff, just unbelievable, right? Really honed in on this dog. And the dog was able now to, use her bowels and control her bowel movements and stuff, which is amazing because she wasn't able to do that, the poor thing. And she can now use her back legs, not in the way that most dogs can, and after a while she gets wobbly on them, so the wheels really help her. But can you believe it? Now the family were calling the rescue wanting updates, and if I was them I'd be like, screw you, you don't deserve updates. The rescue were very nice and kept giving them updates. And then the family called one day and they said, hey, do you think once she's walking again we could adopt her again? Let that sink in for you. I think I would have thrown my phone at that point. I would have thrown my phone and blocked their number and just, The problem is that doesn't help. This is why I do what I do, because we need to educate people, because they've probably gone out and bought another dog. I wouldn't be surprised. They didn't want a retarded dog. They didn't want a reject dog, a disabled dog that can't walk. They didn't want a dog that we're going to have to put work into. Let's just get a normal dog. Let's pay another $10,000 for a normal dog. And we'll neglect it and we'll just let it sit in the corner. We'll let our toddlers pull at its tail and poke its eyes. And, isn't that cute? This is why there is such a massive need for education. There really is. And, you know, look, you can't hate people because we need people, unfortunately. People need to care for these beautiful creatures. So if you go around hating people and yelling at people and getting angry at people all the time, it ain't going to really solve the problem. So for me, it's trying to come at it from a place of love and compassion. The only time I will probably get really annoyed and angry is if I know that person doesn't want to change and they don't want to do better. But if anyone is open to changing and being a better owner, I am there to help them. I really am. Because you know the mission, guys, no more lonely dogs. And it's not just the dogs in the pounds, it's the dogs in the backyards. They're the ones that people don't really see. So we got to start there. You know who I am. I'm Vanessa. I'm leading this beautiful growing empire of animal lovers. We are the change together, guys. So I really appreciate all the love and support. I run the series Story of a Lonely Dog. Mission is simple. No more lonely dogs. I'm back at the Dog Lovers Festival today doing another performance and another live talk. And then I'll be hanging in the stall ready to speak to people and to meet you guys. I met so many of you yesterday. It was such a cool experience just to feel the love from like-minded people. So, all right, peace.